So when we're talking about movement strategies, it starts with the most basic thing that we do all the way up to the most complex thing we do. We have to know what we're trying to do with each movement that I make. So as a quarterback, there are lots of things that we do that involve several different movements. So I got to be aware of what I'm doing on every single one of them. All right. So to show you guys what I mean by this, who has not heard of our F4 system? Raise your hand. Okay. Now, who feels like they're pretty strong and not easily embarrassed? Maybe embarrassed. So what I'm going to ask Joseph to do right now is I'm going to show you guys what a movement strategy is on a very broad level in terms of getting ready to be explosive or athletic. Okay. So right now I want you to get into a position that you can do a vertical jump. So if you want to do a vertical jump, get into an athletic position. Okay. So you would just start straight up. I mean, maybe a little bit of a bend, right? So that you can explode. Okay. There you go. All right. Okay. Now get in a position that you would to do like run a 40. I didn't know you wanted to do all of that. I got you. Okay, so what I just showed you guys was two different movements that I asked him to do. Did either of the positions that he took look similar? No, they look different, right? So if I were to run a 40, it would look different than if I was trying to do a vertical jump, right? Are they both explosive movements? Yeah, but it depends on the strategy that you're trying to do. Running is in a straight line forward, jumping is going straight up. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. Now that goes all the way down to the most basic level and how you move in every single movement, not just broadly in different movements. Okay, so I'll explain that in a second. Okay, so what I want you to do, Joseph, is to get into a position. If I were to try and knock you over, okay, talking about being stable. All right. Does anyone know the difference between balance and stability, by the way? Okay. Anyone have a shot at it?
So balance is being able to like stand up and not falling down, and stability is like without extreme force.
There you go, attaboy. Okay, so the difference between balance and stability is balance is just not falling over. Am I falling over? I'm balanced. Am I balanced right now? Absolutely. Am I falling over? No. Am I stable though? No. The difference between the two is that if I were to try and test your stability, I would actually like present some force. Okay? So when force is presented, how do you resist it? All right? So I'm going to ask Joseph to get into a position. If I were to push you from any direction, you'd be able to resist me. Okay? So show me some stability. I think so far. So I want you to focus on this pass. You ready? Yeah. Okay? Feel pretty comfortable in that position right there? You sure? Okay, now get into an athletic position. There we go. All right, so the position that Joseph just got into was what 99% of the people that we talk to get into position. This is like the universal football position. All right, get in this position, he can like resist from a lot of different angles. So I'm going to push it around a little bit. Just resist. You ready? Okay. So is he pretty stable? You sure about that?
Yes.
You feel pretty stable? You sure about that? Okay. What if I told you I could take 2 fingers and almost knock you over? I've done this a few times, so yeah, so here we go. Okay, so just don't just give up. Okay, so you feel very stable right now? Okay, now, to Joseph's credit, guys, this has nothing to do with how strong he is. He's a strong kid. Okay, I'm pushing around a little bit. He's got some muscles in it. Okay, this has nothing to do with his strength. I could do this to any person here. Okay, this has nothing to do with how strong you are, but I understand it has to do with where you understand your stability comes from. Okay, so I'm going to teach Joseph here and you guys for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to do the same thing to him, and he's not going to fall over. Okay. So going from very unstable to stable. Right now, guys, stability starts in your hips. Okay, here's why. The reason why is that with your hips, there are three bones, 3 joints. Okay, so if I have 3 bones, 3 joints, the problem with that is that they are allowed to shift and rotate if they're not locked in. If you don't make them like actually lock in and stop moving. Okay, that's great for everyday movement. So if I'm walking around like and just sitting around the house, that's fine. But if I'm actually trying to do something explosive or athletic, I have to have that locked in so that I'm not unstable. So if my hips are unstable, everything above it is now unstable. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so guys, listen. I know that you've been talked to for a while. Eyes up here. Okay? You are at quarterback camp to actually learn something, right? Okay? You are not going to listen to me by looking down on the ground. All right? So when the coach is talking, I don't care if it's here or anywhere else. If the coach is talking, you have your eyes on. All right? Everyone cool with that? All right. So when we're talking about stability, it starts with the hips. So we got to be able to lock in the hips. The way that we do that, there are two ways that we actually help ourselves with stability. Two terms. Okay, everyone say boys up and tensegrity. Boys up, tensegrity. Okay, now the boys up, this has to do with what it actually sounds like. Okay, so the way that we actually fire the muscles that help to lock in your pelvis is by trying to pull your boys up into your stomach. Okay, or in other words, trying to cut off a pee midstream. That activation right there locks in your hips so that they don't shift and rotate. This doesn't make you automatically stronger. What it does is it helps to make sure your hips aren't moving around. So if my hips are stable, then I connect everything else to my hips, then nothing's going to move. Does that make sense to everybody? So your core can actually help you stay stable if your hips are stable. If your hips are unstable, it doesn't matter what you do up here, you aren't going to be stable. I just showed you. I can do this to anybody else. Okay?'ve done this to a 6'8", 330-pound lineman, so don't feel bad. Okay? So understanding how to actually apply this. Now, so that's the first thing. The second thing is understanding that the force that I'm giving you is what we call rotational force. Okay? You thought I was pushing you backwards, now it's just rotating. Okay? So the way that we help this is that, guys, your spine can actually rotate. Everyone knows that, right? You can actually rotate your spine. Most of the force that's presented to you from a physical contact standpoint has to do with your spine rotating. So if I take my shoulder into him, I have to make sure I don't rotate or else my shoulder is going to rotate off of him, so like and hit it. Same thing with throwing though, it's a rotational move. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so I got to be stable as I do that. So, that being said, all right, so whatever that means to you, boys up, okay, I want you to stay tight here. Now, the other thing is make sure that this shoulder doesn't get any further away than that. You have to let that shoulder move away from that. Does that make sense? It's not like there's straps from your shoulder to your hip. It won't stretch. Don't let it stretch. Does that make sense to you? Okay, same athletic position. Okay, boys up. Don't let me rotate you. Ready? Bam, just like that. Up, both sides, right? In. Okay, so don't try and push. Just don't let me move you on either side. Okay. So I'm going to switch sides. Just only move. Ready? Okay, so 2 minutes ago, it was really easy. Is it easy now? I can't do the same thing that I did before. Why? You're stable, and your boys are up. Does that make sense there? Everyone follow me on that, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is tensegrity. I said tensegrity, right? Okay? So get in that position again. So what you have is what we call rotational stability, meaning I can't rotate him now. Problem is I can still do this. Okay? So if I can get him from the side, I can still get him off balance or away from his stability. So the way that we prevent that is what we call tensegrity, okay? So with tensegrity, it's an actual term, we didn't make it up, okay? What it means is that we're actually providing tension on the inside of my groin without letting my knees or my legs break. So I don't want to do this. But I want to try and pull in so that if I stood up, that leg would come in. But I'm going to keep it there. Okay, so that pressure in prevents your hips from sliding side to side. Okay, so whatever that means, get a little bit closer and get your toes straight. Okay, same thing. Ready? So stand up a little taller. Okay, now have that tensegrity, the tension in. So if I try and push inside, bam, I can't do it. So now, a second ago he was falling all over the place. And now, if I tried, I would actually have to present a lot of force to actually do this. Okay, so we're going to help you guys all with this. So everyone stand up. Everybody partner up with someone relatively your size.